And Israel's defense minister has warned this morning that, quote, Tehran will burn if it continues firing missiles at Israel, which it has vowed to do. Michelle.
We strongly condemn the Israelis' attack on Iran. This is a violation of the Iran's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And we are particularly concerned that they are attacking nuclear facilities, which is another red line that Israel has crossed.
We are going to bring you some breaking news. Iran's southern city of Bandar Abbas has come under attack by Israeli strikes. These are the latest pictures coming from there. Anti-aircraft are intercepting projectiles in the air. It is the latest city to come under attack in Iran in the second day of Israeli strikes across the country. And we're also seeing anti-aircraft fire over the skies of Tehran as Israeli missiles target the capital.
As you know, the enrichment facility at Fordow is deeply underground, and everybody who's an expert on this says that you cannot reach that without these deep penetrating bombs that are very heavy and only the U.S. can deliver. Should the U.S., in your view, have helped Israel with this attack, and especially at Fordow?
If the Israelis asked the administration for assistance, I think we should have provided it. I don't know if they indeed asked. The other thing that's part of this comprehensive attack, and should be really noted here, is Mossad's on-the-ground contribution. They are obviously, as announced and videos provided, launched some drones from inside Iran, particularly against air defense systems. But the Mossad has attacked in the last several years a drone manufacturing facility, a weapons manufacturing facility. They attacked Natanz twice, once in 2020, once in 21, usually with Iranian resistance assistance. We don't know what they're else up to, Mossad, on the ground, in terms of the nuclear enterprise and what they can access to complement the airstrikes. They are formidable in terms of their penetration of the Iranian society and the cooperation they are able to get. And their intelligence and targeting is really supreme.
Yeah, this is really, really something.
The IAEA warned of the serious risks of combat around nuclear sites.
Any military action that jeopardizes the safety and security of nuclear facilities risks grave consequences for the people of Iran, the region, and beyond.
Hundreds of supporters of Iran's hardline government turned out in Tehran to celebrate their country's response to Israel's attacks. We will continue to give a crushing response with the support of our people, our leader, and our brave soldiers, this woman said. But many Iranians are unhappy with their government, with the state of the economy and the lack of certain freedoms.
Israel and Iran have both been preparing for this confrontation for decades, so how do they stack up? Well, on paper, Iran far outnumbers Israel in terms of active and reserve personnel. Iran is a much bigger country than Israel, 86 million people to Israel's 10 million people. So the Iranians have got 960,000 personnel, Israel have got 634,000. But this war, of course, won't be about who has the more manpower. It's really about who has the best technology, particularly in the air war. And on that score, there is a clear and obvious winner. So let's look at the attack capabilities. Now, first, Israel's weapon of choice. Of course, there are its fighter jets, the F-15, the F-16, and the F-35. Very stealthy, the F-35 can get through radar defenses undetected. Very, very useful weapon system for the Israelis to operate. The Iranians, they operate much older Russian jets, and they've lost some of them. They don't work as well. And so instead, they've built up a huge stockpile of missiles and drones. And they include the Shahed 136 that we've seen much of in Ukraine, the Imad, the Khorram Shah big missile, but this one, the Fatah. There's a whole family of Fatah missiles. They work. The most modern versions of them are thought to be hypersonic, which are really very difficult to defend against. In total, it's estimated that the Iranians may have 3,000 of these ballistic missiles. Most estimates would say it's probably nearer 2,000, but undoubtedly they have a lot of them, and they could keep throwing them at Israel over the coming days and weeks if they chose to do that. And Israel claims that Iran was building up the capacity to manufacture 300 ballistic missiles a month. And that, with their ranges, would put Israel and hundreds of US bases in the crosshairs around the region. So if you look at a range map, undoubtedly, the Iranians have a big capacity building in terms of their ballistic missiles and their drones. Now, over the years, Israel has the most advanced defense system in the world, and it's built it up. And it's getting support from United States assets in the region. And that system, most people call it the Iron Dome, but Iron Dome is only one type of missile. So there's the Iron Dome missile itself, there's David's Sling, which is a high-altitude, short-range, very fast missile, and there's the Arrow 3. Probably the best of the whole bit is the Arrow 3. That probably works the best of all. But between them, as well as with some Patriot missiles, they create this sense of a dome, a multi-layered dome that sits on top of their population centers that can cover the whole country, because it's a small country, and give them close to 100% protection. But of course, no system will ever give you 100% protection. Now you can see here, action over Tel Aviv. A few missiles did get through, but the vast majority were intercepted. But no system is ever 100%, because any system can be overwhelmed with sheer numbers. And in that respect, we know that Iran does have the numbers.
Today, Israel is defending freedom in the Middle East and beyond. We're doing so against a tyrannical and radical Iranian regime that wants to build atomic bombs to destroy us and wants to build ballistic missiles, including intercontinental ballistic missile, to be able to threaten anyone and everywhere in the world. By defending ourselves, we're also defending others. We're defending our Arab neighbors, our Arab friends in peace. We're defending Europe. We're helping defend also the United States, which helps us all the time in our defense. This is an important mission. Right now, the Iranian regime is bombing our civilian neighborhoods. Now, this is not new. They've tried to assassinate President Trump twice. They bombed American embassies. They killed 241 Marines in Beirut. They killed and injured thousands of Americans with their IEDs in Iraq and Afghanistan. They burn the American flag. They chant endlessly, "Death to America." Our enemy is your enemy. And by doing what we're doing, we're dealing with something that will threaten all of us sooner or later. Our victory will be your victory. How do we intend to achieve that victory? Well, we've already done great things. We've taken out their senior military leadership. We've taken out their senior technologists who are leading the race to build atomic weapons that would threaten us, but not only us. We've done all that and many other things. But we are also aware of the fact that there's more to be done. So we're preparing. We paved the way to Tehran, and our pilots over the skies of Tehran will deal blows to the Ayatollah regime that they cannot even imagine. And I can tell you this. We have indications that senior leaders in Iran are already packing their bags. They sense what's coming. I'll tell you what would have come if we hadn't acted. We had information that this unscrupulous regime was planning to give the nuclear weapons that they would develop to their terrorist proxies. That's nuclear terrorism on steroids. That would threaten the entire world. This is what Israel is doing with the support, the clear support of the President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the American people, and many others in the world. So with God's help, and with the goodwill and resolution of all free societies, we shall win.